Hi, this is Dr. Pachenik, and I'd like to talk about what we have just experienced in the coronavirus pandemic. Number one, it's coming to an ending. The notion that we are constantly in fear of a virus is really coming to be almost absurd. The republic, this great republic that we defended, those of us who've been in combat and have been in crises, we would never allow the republic to stop or shut down because of a crisis like coronavirus. Nevertheless, the president did what he thought best. Now it's time for the president and the rest of the government to go back into work. Work is the essential element of the United States. Business is the business of the United States. 3 months ago, before all of this arose, I wrote a little note to my friends in the intelligence community, particularly the military part, and said to them, make sure our military is on standby. The reason I wrote it is I could predict that there would be governors like Cuomo and others in democratic states who would defy the edicts of the President of the United States, and i.e. the Constitution. Number one, the President of the United States has done everything he could. Has he made mistakes? We've all made mistakes. Has he tried to do the best he can? Yes, he gave 3-hour interviews every day. The first president of the United States to commit what I call a political economic lavage. Lavage meaning cleaning out of the United States of sex trafficking, of drugs, and the M13 gangs while we were in stand down. Number two, the President of the United States had a bit of what we call target fixation, meaning that we overdetermined what the problem was on a level that was national. In other words, we thought that the essence of the crisis was the coronavirus. No, the essence of this crisis was not the coronavirus. It was the fact that we really did not learn how to run a crisis, having had that experience before in the Ebola crisis, where people forgot that people like myself and others, including General Dempsey, we sent over 3,000 American soldiers into Sierra Leone and Liberia. Furthermore, we had a history of running crisis. Fauci has never had a history of running a crisis. I know Tony, I liked him, but Tony has gone way above his capacity. Tony is a physician. He's a very good physician who was trained at Cornell University Medical College, like I was, but he is not a scientist. He never has been a scientist. He's never developed a vaccine. He doesn't know how to break up the amino acids. He doesn't know anything about polypeptides. At the same time, Tony supported WHO, a totally useless organization run by an Ethiopian terrorist with his first name named Tito's. When I left the State Department 20, 30 years ago, I was offered a job at WHO. I turned it down. The reason was very simple. They're not necessary and they're not essential to anything but increasing processes throughout the U.S. government and all over the world. They have a huge budget of $4 billion, of which we pay $500 million, and the Chinese only pay $40 to $50 million. The truth of the matter is that they're totally co-opted by mainland China, and they refuse to recognize Taiwan. I've said for a long time, get rid of the WHO. We do not need it. It is worthless. On top of that, what you see is that the idiot savants like Bill Gates and Melinda Gates come forth and make themselves important in a situation that, one, he has no credibility. Bill Gates never finished school, never went to medical school. His wife has no idea of what she's talking about. Very Catholic, was a business manager at Microsoft. By the way, what was Microsoft? Nothing more than a gift given to Bill Gates by his father 30 years ago, who gave him $1 million startup, equivalent to about 20 to 30 million today. And he created something that was called Microsoft. He forgot that in 1972, a bunch of us at MIT were basically trained in internet and social media. Let me talk about one thing. The most important thing that we can think about right now is that America has to go back to business. We have to remain as a republic. We have to be number one in the world. And number two, we have to help all of the Western European countries that are in bad shape. On that note, I leave you good night, good luck, and let's get back to work. And bye.